And Abhey, thanks for joining us here on In the Loop and taking some time. Tell me, were you caught off guard by Dell's report?
The earnings were fine. The earnings were exactly what we thought. We were taken aback by the guide down on the revenue side. Now, they had kept the guidance at 5 to 9% of revenue growth this year. That was a bit lofty given what's going on in the market. But the extent of guide down and blaming it, a lot of it, big chunk of it on consumer spending was a bit of a surprise because consumer spending was soft when they last gave their guidance.
Well, what's in terms of Dell versus HP? We got the largest HP and Dell the second largest. Is there mix between business customers and consumers, regular retail customers, the same, or is one more heavily geared towards business?
Percentage-wise, HP is more geared towards consumers than Dell is. So HP has more exposure to U.S. consumers versus Dell. At the same time, the dynamics are going to be the same. The enterprise spending is going to remain strong in terms of PCs and servers, which is going to help HP, and they have a bigger portion of revenues coming from that segment. But consumer PCs are going to be soft.
What are you looking for in today's earnings call with HP?
So for the quarter's results, we are looking for inline-ish to slightly better revenues for the July quarter, and EPS-wise, slight upside. And that's primarily a lot of it coming from margin and from share buybacks. But I think the key thing will be guidance. We think at this point, given all the data points we're getting, there's a good chance that they'll lower their guidance. They'll lower their revenue guidance to closer to the low end of their existing outlook.
Well, CEO Leo Apotheker at HP has come into the company at a very tumultuous time for them, both from an execution standpoint and from an economic standpoint. So is there anything that Leo Apotheker can say on this call that can maybe reassure investors or get people to say, yeah, you know what, I would want to step up and buy HP on weakness because it's a good play longer term?
Yeah, the problem with HP, you're right, is we have a new management team and market uncertainty is there. So given these two dynamics, it's really hard for him to say anything that can reassure investors. If you look at it, this will probably be the third time that they'll be lowering guidance if they lower guidance today. There have been 2 quarters when they've lowered their revenue outlook. And last quarter, they even took down the earnings outlook. So it's come to a point where they need to show results to build credibility versus say something.
Where does HP have to be trading for you to be recommending it a buy on the stock?
It's not more about trading. It's more about having consistent data points from the company, having consistent execution that will get us more attracted to the company.
But at some point, on an absolute basis, it's cheap, right? I mean, we are seeing huge drops in every stock, just as sentiment turns very, very negative. Look at this, year to date, down about 30%. You know, at some point, you're buying stocks because you're buying stocks, and they're all so cheap.
That's fair. The problem with the tech stocks is that the earnings can fall a lot. If the products stop gaining traction or if there is a disruption somewhere, then earnings can fall a lot. So what's looking cheap today may not be that cheap. So what we need to get comfort around is the ability to execute versus look at an absolute stock price.
When does this catch up to Apple, which I know is a little bit off topic, but we are talking a little bit about consumer versus enterprise. We get weak consumer numbers, yet we continue to see Apple, people going there, buying products and paying full price.
Yeah, the thing with Apple is that they build such great products that people really want to go and buy them. So even in recession, the ability to sell is not limited by market demand, but it's limited by how much they can produce. So it's really hard for for Dell and HP to catch up to Apple in terms of consumer products.
Abhey, you watch a big universe of technology as a whole. Is there a best pick that you guys have, you and ISI have, in terms of technology right now?
I think Apple is our best pick. Even if we see some downtick in spending, the demand for its products at high end is going to remain pretty strong. And if you look at next year's estimates, there could be about 25 to 30% upside to next year's estimates where they currently stand. So there is a good opportunity on Apple.
Any potential consumer competitors to the Apple, to the iPad?
It's going to be hard. It's really hard for anyone to kind of build a product. If anyone has a chance, it's probably going to be Microsoft's tablets, given their strength in enterprise. But we need to see Windows 8 perform well on those hardware. Michael Dell said on the call that he saw some good results over there, but we'll have to see the product when it comes out.
All right. Thanks so much, Abhey. We got to leave it there. Dom, Abhey Lamba of ISI Group, thanks so much for joining us.